Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. Let's go, yeah. Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. The Daps and Pounds show. This is the Daps and Pounds show. You know.
What's up, everybody? You know what it is. It's the Daps and Pounds show. We are here today for episode 15. You know who I am. My name is Malky. To my left, we have
Dobie.
And we represent two mics,
two friends,
and one show,
the Daps and Pounds show.
What's up, Malky? How you doing today? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yes.
The dogs are excited.
I'm excited.
It's crazy. Okay, so...
And you're my dog, and you're excited. Yeah.
Oh, gosh, that got the dogs going. Okay, sorry, probably shouldn't have done that. All right, guys, so quick intro. If this is your first time, this is going to be a little bit of a different episode for us. We usually record every week on Fridays, so we have a chance to listen to some new music, give you our opinions on them. However, our boy Malky is going to be going out of town this week, and so we are recording early because we want to give you that consistent episodes, that consistent energy, and we want to always be your Monday savior. So what we're going to be doing is a lot of answering our fan questions, stupid, funny, we don't even know. We've kind of skimmed through a lot of them, so thank you everybody who submitted your questions. Hopefully this is something we can come back to. However, if this is again your first time here, if you want more of us, more of our content, you can follow us at on Instagram and Twitter at Daps_Pounds. You can also, if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can watch this on YouTube, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you can download the audio on iTunes and Stitcher. So that's where we're throwing our podcast at, and you can always visit our website at www.dapsandpoundsent.com. So that's the quick hello. And also we want to give a big shout out to Tanner Crockett and Justin Walsh. Thank you guys so much for reviewing our podcast on iTunes. That helps out a lot. So we appreciate y'all. Shout out to the silent majority out there who's listening, and we don't even know who you are, but we thank you so much that you're supporting us, and hopefully you're enjoying yourselves on a weekly basis because we love you very much. And that was me bowing to you, even if you didn't see that. So
Yeah.
we don't know. I mean, usually we have a whole way about going about things, right?
Well, we can talk about if anything's good or bad still in our week.
The only bad thing I could think of is like at Lexus the other day. So a lady wanted a vehicle, right?
Sure.
But she wants such a specific vehicle that there's none that we can get. And so she's really upset because we have to pretty much build the car for her. And, yeah, she wasn't having it. So that was kind of a bummer. Let's see here. What's a good? Sunday was really fun. We could talk about that a little bit. Because we went together.
That was awesome.
Wing Fest, which is something that we have here locally in Peoria. I think it's the second year now that they've done it.
I'm not sure the lineage. I'm not sure how long they've been doing it.
I don't think
this
it's
was
long.
my first year going, though.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't think it's long. Lexus sponsors it, so that's why I went. And then we had Ellie, Brandon, Alicia, and it was a good time. And shout out to my wife. She went as well. Good wings. It was a good time. It was beautiful weather down there. Look at the back of my neck, though.
Oh, wow.
White boy problems, bro.
Wow.
Isn't that bad?
That's crazy. It was 65. It was nice.
No, it got up to the 70s from what I heard.
Did it?
Yeah.
Maybe because we were on the ocean, it didn't. Not the ocean. Maybe because we were on the river, it felt like easy breezy, beautiful cover girl.
It might have. But then after that, we went to a dog park for the first time and let Otto and Bill run around. So
did they go crazy?
So we thought, because Otto here, anytime he sees a person, anytime he sees a dog, he starts barking, going crazy. We've seen him in situations where he kind of runs up on people and starts barking. And we've always known he's not like an aggressive dog, but you know, it can scare anybody.
Sure.
So we were very hesitant to bring him to a dog park because we didn't know how he was going to interact with other dogs and other people. And perfect.
Yeah.
Totally fine. They enjoyed it. They just ran around. And it's cool. I mean, it's like a really interesting, like, social thing, and like you could tell, like it's for real. Like single people go out there to see if they can mingle with people. I'm telling you,
That's so funny.
it's for it. I sense it and I see it going on. It's a real thing, people. So check out your local dog park if you're looking for love.
If you're looking for love, take it to the puppy place.
And then I'll give you that 101 conversation starters for couples.
Ooh.
That icebreaker.
Ooh.
Let me be your polar bear.
Ooh.
Hey. Anyway, so that was one good thing that kind of was going on.
Sick.
I mean, we're going to be really behind on playoffs, but...
Yeah, I mean, I guess since last week, technically for you hearing this, the Cavs and Warriors hadn't swept yet. So they just completed that on Saturday and Sunday. Mm-hmm. So therefore now you know that they've swept, and so that's cool. It really just seems like they're on a beeline towards each other. Like,
well, now too, the other two series they're tied 2-2.
Yeah.
And those could go to game 7s, which gives the Warriors and the Cavs like so much rest time before their Eastern and Western
but
Conference
you know what?
finals.
It's almost like I want that to happen. I want them to both have equal rest. I want no one major to be hurt from either of them.
Oh, yeah.
So that we get a head up, straight up.
That for sure.
I didn't want one of them to go to like a game 7 and then we get excuses later.
Steph Curry gets hurt, breaks his wrist or something like that.
Remember last year, that was an excuse the Warriors had. He was tired. You remember like game 6, 7?
Yeah.
He was tired and he was, feeling
No, he was getting
down
dogged that whole series.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Kyrie had him on lock.
Kyrie is
my favorite player to watch. Still is.
The Cavs swept Sunday. The Cavs swept on Sunday, I believe it was, and I watched the game, and the Toronto Raptors were going on a little run, and they gave him the ball, and they're starting to give him the ball now in those moments where you need a bucket
clutch, yep.
over LeBron. Which is smart for them to do because he can get to the basket and also kick out as to where
he just shuffles them, and that you don't know if he's pulling up or if he's going to drive.
I think it was that Tucker kid, who's good, by the way. I like that Tucker dude, the bald dude with the with the tattoos.
Oh my gosh, you put him on skates.
Yo, Kyrie shook dude so hard.
He was just dancing on
and
the floor.
Also, when he lays it up, he kind of has that Chris Paul, like, it's off the glass, but it's not like in the square. It's like way on the corner, and then it just goes in, and you just look at him like, what just happened? Kyrie is an actual monster.
I did that though with Harden the last game, where he was doing that shuffling with that dude, and he just pulled up and just drained that three. I was like, the beard.
Yeah,
that's a great series so far too.
Yeah, it's insane, and I feel like after seeing the Spurs now, I do think the Spurs and Rockets could still go 7. But bro, I think Cleveland would sweep the Spurs, honestly. Like, it's hard for me to see competition for either of them right now.
Here's the thing.
It's hard for me.
And I don't know if it's just me, and you can say this too. I don't know if I think probably Jazz or probably seemed a little bit better than the Raptors.
The Jazz were not to their full potential, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think that Joe Johnson went like 2 of 13. Like, and that's a rarity. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes shots just don't fall. If he was on, I don't know.
I'm trying to think, though. I still feel like Cavaliers looked like they had an easier time than
and
Warriors.
I think, because the East is just, it can't compare to the West. I mean, your best team.
However,
is
Warriors
just not
haven't
been
been
as good.
Warriors. Okay, yeah, and I understand. Like,
they haven't been tested though.
Warriors haven't played anybody on the West either.
No.
You know why? Because the greatest ones were OKC, Spurs, Houston.
Yep.
Spurs and Houston. I mean, I would say those are probably like the top 2, right?
Yeah.
Other than the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to play both of them. So I don't, all this, Cavaliers haven't been tested. Warriors haven't been tested either.
No,
so
none of them have been tested, and that's why I'm almost happy. I want to see 7 games of slug, just dogfight basketball. I want ejections. I want technicals. I want slaps in the face.
It's going to be fun.
I want dunks, free throws, layups. I'm just listing basketball maneuvers now. But, I just want it all. I just want it all. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be a good time. We're excited
Yeah.
for it. So, anything else, man, that you're going through?
Oh, man.
I mean, you just...
that I'm going through. Life is good, man. Life is good. I can't really complain about anything.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My good is that everything is good. I'm really busy, but I'm busy in a good way, like a productive way. Like it'll be 3 a.m. Like I'm just saying this because it was last night. It was 3 a.m. last night, and I woke up thinking about something cool that I could add to a project I'm doing at work, which is a little maniacal. But I went to work today, executed it, submitted it, it got accepted. So it's like I'm feeling good. Things are well. It's like a good type of busy instead of like a freak out type of busy.
Right.
And I think it's always good when you're a busy level that it's manageable and not freak out. So
That's
stress
true.
levels are down. God is good. Family's good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't have too much to complain about, man.
All right. We're going to start this episode off in an interesting way.
Let's do it.
You're trying this right now.
Oh man.
Read it.
All right, so right now we have Rockstar Energy Cucumber Lime. And this has energy and electrolytes. Cucumber Lime.
Yeah.
This looks like it would be cherry dash. I don't know, for those viewers at home, this is what it looks like. All right, this is what he wants me to try. I'm gonna try this though. Rockstar Cucumber Lime. All right.
Let's
Opening
give
it
it a little
up.
go. By the way, shout out to Eli, because him and I are the only ones who like the cucumber lime Gatorade. I already sent him a photo of this, and me and him were hype about it.
Can't handle this. All right, let's smell first. Oh my gosh, it smells. Oh, it smells like Knuckles. Oh,
Like the Sonic character?
no,
I know.
like hairy Knuckles.
Hairy Knuckles.
It smells like hairy Knuckles and earring backs.
The erasers or the actual...
Erasers. I'm gonna try it now. I'm trying now. Oh. Oh. Have you had that before? It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, though, to be honest with you.
Take another sip.
Why? I've tried it.
Let it run through your palate like a river in between the canyons.
Oh. It's just like a little kick at the end. That's weird. I don't even like regular cucumbers.
You don't?
No.
Do you like
they're weird.
pickles?
Absolutely not.
You don't like cucumbers or pickles?
No, absolutely
Why?
not. I appreciate you letting me try that, but you. Pickles are just slimy. I'm weird with consistency.
Slimy?
Yeah. I'm weird with consistency, man. I don't actually like a lot of
Pickles
creamed
are not
foods.
slimy.
Yeah, they're dipped
No.
in waters and
That's not slimy.
well, do they slip out of your hand if you try to juggle with them? Yeah. Yeah, slime. You've ruined my coffee, by the way.
Pickles are not slimy.
Sure they are.
Slippery.
Slippery. I love that song. It's so good.
Music video's lame.
Yeah, I know. It's the worst one. They had like 3 in a row music videos that were
Right.
knocking out of the park, grand slam music videos, and then this one was just kind of
Blah. Okay, here we go. Question.
give it to me straight.
We have a little bit of music we can talk about, so we'll talk about it a little bit before we go into like all the questions, and we'll give you that top five that we missed last week. All right. So, how did you feel about the Meek Mills project? Because we're gonna probably bring up the Daily Struggle because honestly, I promise you, it's only going to become
the
a bigger
everyday-
show.
the everyday struggle.
Sorry.
It's
only going to become a bigger thing. So if we bring it up,
Yeah.
we apologize. But trust me, we're trying to put you on new hip things. This show that's the kind of show that we pictured ourselves like making.
Yeah.
It's just that we don't have. Anyways, we're not making excuses. However, I felt like they me personally, I think it's a good Meek Mill's project, but the way they were talking about this music and the way they were like presenting Meek Mill's, it was like all of a sudden he's Jesus and he resurrected, and they're like, oh, this is I'm hearing Meek Mill like I heard him for the first time.
I think that when Meek decided to date Nicki Minaj, right? For the street dudes and the hard dudes, he sacrificed a lot. And I think that even though if you listen to DC4, which was out while he was dating
DC4
her,
was dope.
right, but it's not like he's talking about anything different then than now.
Right.
The biggest difference that's happened in his life is no Nicki Minaj. So I think
And
that
Drake.
yeah, but I think that people are like, "Oh, Nicki's gone, he's real again." For whatever reason, when he was with her, and Joe even said, you know, it made him listen to Meek different. So I think that's dumb on their part for thinking that he wasn't as real or not accepting the music the same way. Now, the Meekend, which I think it's called, right?
Mm-hmm.
Meekend Music. He put out a 3-song EP. I think it's very decent, honestly. Like I don't think that
decent.
this is.
It's not.
I don't think that it's like this crazy 3-song.
Do you understand what
like,
I'm saying
thing.
though? When
Yeah, I don't. I'm not in love with any of these tracks, but is it cool? It's cool, but once again, when I listen to Meek Mill, I know exactly what I'm going to get. He has not done one thing to ever surprise me, ever. And he's an artist that is made by his beats. 100% made by his beats. If he's a cappella, people are like, okay, yeah, you're good at this one style, but what else can you do? He has 2 flows. Like, and that's not me really hating on Meek. It's just me saying, like, guys, come on. We know everything that we're going to get from Meek. Every Meek project is the same. It's just beat production, just a little different maybe. Which is fine because I felt the same way about DMX back in the day. DMX, I love DMX, but you're only going to get a certain thing when you listen to it. He doesn't have levels like a Kendrick. He doesn't have levels like a Big Sean. He doesn't have levels like a Drake. He can't go different places to where you're like, man, I wonder what Meek's going to talk about. My rollie, my rollie, my rollie. Look at my rollie. I didn't know I was on the block. Philly. Philly is on the block in my Timbs. And my girl. Fat butt. That's what Meek is going to give you every single time. And there's a time and a place for it. But at the same time, shout out to Meek. Keep doing you, I guess I should say. Keep doing, your thing. I think it's good that you didn't let the Drake situation make you totally take a full L and stop making music. I'm glad that you're still making music. I do think you're needed in this industry. I think artists like Meek are needed just as much as artists like Chance because you have that duality, and it's a mood for every situation. So shout out to Meek. These 3 songs are kind of cool, but nothing that I'm going crazy about.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
Yep.
Another thing that I found was interesting is this idea of from Everyday Struggle. They had a long interview with Wale that was pretty interesting. If you haven't really been put on to who Wale is, he released an album called Shine. Malcolm and I actually really enjoy it. Solid music all the way through. I thought it was interesting, this idea that does the album flop if your shows are sold out and everybody knows the lyrics to them. Now, and I understand what they were saying, numbers wise, they would have to call it a flop. But it was interesting. He's seeing it from a different place, and I did like the fact that he was like, my biggest fear was wondering what if I flopped the first week, and he's like, now I have, and after all these shows, I've learned it's not really that big of a deal.
I think the exact quote from Wale too regarding this topic was, how can it be a flop if I'm connecting? So he feels like the people at his show are singing every word. Mm-hmm. And he said that he's never experienced shows in his career like this before where the fans are screaming every year. Now, Ambition, that album's amazing. I love that Wale album.
Yeah, I remember you bumped that a long time.
The album About Nothing, good. Valorn, the mixtape, good. So, even Back to Attention Deficit's good. So, I mean, the fact that an artist is an artist, but I'm going to choose to believe him. the fact that he's saying that his fans have never responded to an album like this before is saying a lot. That I think is what he's getting at. The fact that the numbers weren't there, yet his core fans were more appreciative of this album than everything before that. So I like the Meek project, and I think that a flop, I kind of agree with Joe, a flop is a business term because it goes based off of if you spent more money on your project than it makes, it doesn't matter if you have a pizza restaurant. You know what I mean? Like that's
Right.
you're taking an L there. That's a flop. So did his album flop? Absolutely. But content doesn't always mean that you're going to have a successful album. Even though it might be great content, the album may not sell. And that has a lot to do with a lot of things. So,
Agreed.
yeah.
Those are just 2 points I felt like we could talk about.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree. Shout out to Wale, man. Still go get Shine. I really like it. I really like the project. It's ambitious. And I think that he goes places that you kind of don't expect. Once again, he's an artist that has levels too. He has a song where he starts going in Spanish. He has a song that sounds like Calvin Harris could have done it. He has a song.
Columbia Heights.
Yeah,
so good.
it's good. It's good. It's a good album. So yeah, how you want to do this? You want to start going into questions?
Yo, let's go.
All right, guys. So we have been asking you guys for the past week or so to submit questions. We have questions here, and it will help you guys get to know the Daps and Pound Show guys a little bit more. So we're gonna get right into it. This one comes from our boy Ali, aka Habibi, aka I don't know, he's just a good dude. Look, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you've ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip? I'll let you go first.
Yo, I'd take that and I'd hold it. I'd grasp it. But you would try to grab it and it'd slip through your fingers and you'd go, pickles.
Well, I'd be able to hold on if they weren't so slimy.
They're not slimy.
I mean, I guess the correct answer is that, you know, we would seize every moment, but it's something I'm working on is making sure I seize opportunities, seize moments.
Would you capture it? I mean, I think us starting the podcast is trying to capture it.
Yeah, we actually told you guys within the first episode that this is one of those things that we've talked about, strategized over for
A long time.
a long time, and it finally got to the point where we started needing to like put money into it so that we're obligated to go for it, you know.
Right,
so
right.
it feels good. So yes, Illy, yes, we wouldn't let it slip. We would capture it, seize the moment.
Capture it.
Yeah. Next up, we have the wonderful Miss Leslie. That's Dobie's mom, y'all. This is a good one, actually. I didn't think about this.
Okay.
What would you do with $1 million?
All right. First thing I would do, I would thank the Lord above. I'd be like, thank you. Me personally, I would tithe it, but then I'd have a long conversation with my wife, and I'd think of. Part of me would want to take out some to at least like purchase a house or something like that,
Sure.
and then either invest or save the rest so that you could, you know, basically retire early.
Mm-hmm.
That's of course me. I would want to just like ball out for a little bit and like get a lot of like tech stuff, and I would want to continue doing stuff like this, but be able to have some finances to, you know, get us a better camera, get us, you know, a better setup. But yeah, I would try to be smart, get a higher financial advisor, all that stuff.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty much on the same end there, man. I would take 500,000 of it and straight up invest it, whether that be in stocks, whether that be in a specific business. I'm not sure. I'd have to kind of look into it. Mm-hmm. But I'd invest 500,000, and the other 500,000 I would take to give back to church, do the pay off some bills for family, and then, you know, maybe stunt a little bit. But I would mostly invest half of it just to be able to have a good foundation. I mean, truth is, $1 million is nowhere near what it used to be, and it goes pretty fast once you see taxes and all that stuff that you have to pay. You know, you could say you would build like this huge expansion onto your house. Well, your property tax goes up when you do that. So,
I'd probably maybe invest in land. That's something that's important.
It's
now.
huge, man. Land or real estate.
Yeah,
it's the biggest
something like
thing.
that.
Biggest
maybe
thing.
we should flip houses.
Let's have a
beach
house
like,
in
I'm not gonna
Idaho.
lie. Can you imagine if we were like a realtor team?
That'd be hilarious.
I feel like we would kill it.
Only if we could have a HGTV show.
Noobs 101.
Noobs 101.
What do we know? We would need help every second.
That'd be a really entertaining show.
Oh, it'd be any show we would have would be.
If we were actually doing the construction, that'd be hilarious. If we were in there helping, and then like we remove like a bathroom tile and there's termites behind the joint, and we have to run.
Termites.
We have to. I was watching the Terminator last night, so I got confused. But if we have to run from the termites. Because we're like, termites, don't get on me, chiggers. So, it'd be crazy.
Oh, no, them critters.
Oh, no.
The critters, the termites.
Oh, no.
So, yeah.
All
That'd
right.
be cool.
So,
Shout out to the
moving
mama.
right along, we have our boy Bran, a.k.a. Mr. Pet Peeve himself. He says, why haven't you given me my own segment yet? All right, next question. We have AJ Jackson. AJ Jackson. So AJ Jackson has a bunch of questions.
Wait, hold on. For those of you who don't know, this might be your first episode. That is our friend. Okay, so, and we've already had him on
That's
the podcast.
Dobie's friend.
We,
I hope he gets canker sores and falls on sharp pencils. So AJ Jackson has a bunch of questions.
Yo, AJ, you're hilarious for this.
AJ, you pulled up. This is dope. AJ is a close friend of yours, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went to school together.
Okay.
He was one of the few individuals who we always talked hip hop with. He would come into our dorm room a lot with Ryan and I, and we would just sit and talk. And I'm gonna put him on blast, but AJ is the one that said Chief Keef would be around like 10 years from now in 2014. So I told him no.
Interesting.
But it was always fun.
Interesting.
We had a good time together. But I kept his hashtags because like he put like 10 questions, y'all. But
Okay,
it
this
was
is funny. This is funny. So, all right, first question. Has Kendrick, as in Kendrick Lamar, surpassed Drake in the rap game yet?
Rap game, yeah. Right now, currently, I would say Kendrick is on top.
Yep.
Drake is still close behind. And we've already talked about this, and we've said it, that we feel like Drake needs to be quiet for a little while.
Yep, it's okay if he...
but he won't, because
he walks
DJ
away a
Khaled's
little
going to
bit.
drop a song with Drake, and it's going to blow up. So
Very true. Yeah, I agree with Dobie. Kendrick has surpassed him as far as, you know, rapping skills goes, but artistry and overall music ability, I believe that Drake is still on top there. So,
unless, hold on, I will say this.
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar keeps on going through that like more like loves, like that styles like love. I think that would solidify him in a different place.
Yeah, I mean,
Love
it
is
depends
one
on
of
how
the
far he can
better
go.
pop hip hop songs that have come out this year. Period.
The only reason why I would disagree with you is because I don't think Kendrick Lamar has a good singing
Yeah,
voice.
I was gonna say,
and I think
never mind, he
Drake
can't really
actually.
sing.
Now, I'm not saying
Yeah,
Drake can
hold on.
sing. Let's not get it
Auto-tune.
twisted.
Even 40 was like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
he's got auto tune.
Next question, and we actually just talked about this. Why did Wale's album flop? I will say that Wale's album flopped because, and he even said this on Everyday Struggle, he's really bad at creating awareness for himself. He moved up the date 1 week due to some issues in his camp. A guy he found out was actually selling the album and leaking the album, so he moved it up to kind of head that off, which really sucks. But at the same time, other artists have full out commercials and stuff for their stuff, so that could be on Atlantic Records.
He said it was half and half. He admitted it. But also, the whole PYT thing Like he
Yeah.
said that was one of the reasons too, because that single came out so early before the album dropped.
PRT was big too.
Yeah.
It was a radio
Last
single.
summer though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a radio single.
It was good.
I liked it.
So that's what we think. But remember, if you want to know what he thinks about it, check out Everyday Struggle interview with Wale. You hear a lot of yelling and going back and forth about who's corny or not. So, interesting.
Sure.
Sure.
You must do that. You
Sure.
must do that. Next question. Are you still cooking in the studio? I'll let you go first.
Actually, yes, but very slowly because, yeah, I'm too hard on myself. Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely.
Hey, we were listening back to old records though, and Malcolm had some. Like I memorized Malcolm's verses a lot, so I still couldn't. Okay, and you guys don't know him, but we used to rap with another guy named Crash.
Yeah,
and
man.
like sometimes like his flow patterns got if listening closely, like it could have been a little bit more sharp. But that dude's wordplay on some of them tracks was crazy.
Yeah, he had a really good pen. I think that sometimes his pen was lost on delivery. Like delivery wasn't, like you were just
Right.
saying, like delivery was lost, but all of our delivery had issues at that time, I think. But yeah, he had a good head for putting words together. I liked it. So
Thought it was interesting, but it was fun to go
dope.
back to. But I still have something I want to cook up because it's still on like a bucket list of mine. Make an EP. So
yeah, and I will say that I'm retired as a joke, but I mean, I don't have that urge and passion to put anything out right now. And I think that if I just did it to do it, it would be dumb. When I was down at school, I recorded about 5 or 6 songs and no one's ever heard of them. I mean, I let Dobie hear them and a couple other people have heard them, but I don't even know if those will ever see the light of day, just because I wanted to put out a full EP, a full thing. Maybe I'll let Lucy's go one day, but right now I just don't have that mindset to do it. I actually care more about, I would much rather right now be a part of his process in trying to help him, almost AR for lack of better terms.
you would manage me
A&R
like
to
the core.
Just trying to, once he gets a bunch of records recorded, trying to help him pick records that would be good to put out and stuff like that. That's more so where my head's at instead of creating for myself. But in the process of doing that over the next year or so that we do that with him, maybe I'll get the bug again. You never know. But
you never know.
yeah. So next question. How many licks did it really take to get to the center of the lollipop?
90.
90 for you?
Mhm.
Wow. 2 for me. I'm a really good licker. Hey, yo. All right, next one. Why is Birdman still holding on to Lil Wayne's money? Interesting. This is deep.
Because Birdman's I consider him like a jerk. Like he's somebody who is okay. I don't know Birdman. I don't.
You don't?
What? His persona that he portrays through interviews and things of that nature, he seems like a very egotistical, I want to say a little bit of a maniac. And he literally, I think he only cares about money. I think he'd push anybody aside for it. So I think that's why he's holding on to money, because that's all he really cares about. I think he's one of those guys who grew up and people told him it's about getting money and status, and he still believes that to this day, that's what life's about.
I think Birdman's kind of weird. Like, he has like 2 different personalities, because there's the one sense when you stop and think and you think, wow, Cash Money was signed to Universal, but that was kind of later on. Like, Drop It Like It's Hot and Back That Thing Up was done while they were still independent. They're one of the most successful independently started hip hop record labels in history ever. And while you can't take that away from him, I think that his business dealings back in the day were like maybe shady.
Yeah.
And I think that he didn't necessarily have the thought process to say, all right, I needed a lawyer to check all these deals out.
Yeah.
And then over time you get defensive and you have to protect yourself. So I think that's why you see him act so hard now, instead of being like, you know, he calls that dude his son. He calls Wayne his son, but yet they're in this weird battle, and it's awkward because I don't know Wayne, which is shocking. I know,
Right.
but I don't think Wayne wants to beef with someone who he has a tattoo of. Like, if you have a tattoo that says Birdman Jr. on your shoulder blade, you don't want to beef with that person.
Right.
So if it's that serious, or if it isn't that serious, you know, we hope that we see the Carter Five one day. We hope that, you know, it all gets resolved. But I think Birdman is just in a position to have to defend himself now, and he's doing the wrong thing 100%, and he's just stupid. So that's Birdman. Next up, is hip hop changing for the better or being diluted? Ooh, the mumble rap conversation.
I say better, because mumble rap has its place just as much as conscious rap has it. And with social media today, and I think this is a good thing, the record labels don't have control of what's popping anymore.
Yeah.
The people do. The young creators do. And so I think it's good. I think there's some things that probably some of the older rappers disagree with, like Joe Budden. It's obvious. However, they all agree that young artists, they do have their place in rap, and rap's taken over all genres. And so I think it's for the better, because rap is pop now. And to think that everybody just wanted rap to just be like in New York and not blow up or something like that is kind of silly. So
Yeah, I agree.
I think honestly, the people that started hip hop and the old heads and stuff like that, like, I hope they still take pride, because if it wasn't for them, there wouldn't be what it is today. And so, I mean, I think that's what they really need to focus on.
Yeah, man, I don't think that there has ever been a time where there's been this much good hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really think about it. You can choose to listen to Talib Kweli, a very good artist. You can choose to listen to Uzi, a very good artist, in a different way. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I think that you have the most variety in hip hop, and I think that the old heads are just bitter. But at the same time, if you were KRS-One, you probably hated NWA. You know, you probably, like, you know, every generation goes through that, where they think that they had much better music back then, and yada, yada, yada. So I think music is in a great place. I think hip hop's in a really great place when you think about Travis, when you think about Drake, when you think about Kendrick, Big Sean, Cole. Everybody out here right now has a chance to do something really great, and it sounds like they're doing it. So I don't think it's diluted right now.
And that's Kanye. I think he's kind of come out something great. For those of you who don't know, you might hear it here first, but apparently he is in the mountains in Montana, isolating himself, recording a project. The last time we've heard rumor of him isolating himself, recording a project, is when he went to Hawaii, and I believe he was in Paris for a while as well during that time.
Yeah.
Recording for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That's the name of the album, correct?
Yes.
I always feel like I forget
My
a
Beautiful
word.
Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Such a good album. Anyways, super excited for that.
Next question from AJ is, did Future definitely take the mask off and lose that money, or is Rocco really getting his money? See, I'm not sure, because I don't know all of the legal ramifications of what's going on with them. I know that Future signed a bad deal, sounds like, with Rocco, and didn't really go through everything because they were close friends. And it looks like Rocco owns his next 2 albums. We think that that's why he put out those 2 albums back to back the way he did. But I don't know. You know, we'd have to really dig into legal stuff, and the truth is not really out there. Rocco can say whatever he wants right now, but it's not court TV. We don't have like this this thing saying that this is what happened, this is what didn't happen right now. So, you know. Is Destiny, the game, overrated? The video game Destiny, is it overrated?
Depends. Sometime, like, for the story and stuff like that, most consensus is actually that it's pretty bad. I wouldn't say it's overrated. It's still played by millions of players. Right now, it's kind of boring just because everybody's waiting for Destiny 2 to come out. And I don't think Destiny 2 is going to be overrated at all. I mean, it just kind of depends on if you like it. If you like it, then of course you're not going to say it's overrated. But if you don't like it, then you will probably say it's overrated. There's a lot of good stuff out right now, though. It's a good time to be a gamer. I will say that. But Destiny 2 comes out this September. I'll be playing that hardcore.
Yeah, I've played Destiny once with Chase, and it seemed kind of cool. I mean, I can't really speak on whether or not it's overrated, but I know that when anything has as much hype about it beforehand, and it comes out, whether it's music or video games or a car or anything, and people play it for a little bit or use that thing for a little bit and put it down and say, okay, that sucked, that's when you can say, yeah, it was overrated. But for the most part, I think people used it. And that's just me not being a gamer.
Right.
I think people used it and spent hours trying to beat it. Whenever that's the case, something's keeping them intrigued. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Oh, this is a question for you. When is the next sermon preachable?
Next sermon is to be determined.
TBD.
Is that my last one? I can't say that now.
Nope, it's not. All right. Next question from AJ. ESPN has the South Carolina Gamecocks losing to MU next year in football. He assumes that hell is going to freeze over due to such obnoxious claims. You feel the same way? I think so.
Mizzou was ranked I believe either last or second to last in the SEC last year. We had an even record, went to a bowl game, and we lost in overtime. And we didn't even have Jake Bentley until the second half of the season. And they expect Mizzou all of a sudden to come create a miraculous win. I don't think we're going to be... And they pretty much predicted us to have a worse season this year than we did last year.
That's weird.
However, a lot of this is saying because we have the 7th hardest conference schedule in college football.
Okay.
Now, our first game is against North Carolina State, which actually North Carolina State almost beat Clemson last year. I think they were a field goal away or something like that.
Something like that.
And so they're actually a really good football team, and we never play well our very first game. So they did predict that we would lose that one. That one actually wouldn't surprise me if we lost because we never play well the first game. But do I think we're going to lose against Mizzou? No. I actually laughed at that. And then people were making jokes. They were like, well, that's because all of ESPN's people who actually knew stuff about sports was let go. So,
yeah, man. I can't see South Carolina really being worse than they were last year, honestly. I think that they will have a better record than they did last year. At least I hope so, man. I think that's a program that's rebuilding, obviously, and it's on the way up. I don't think it's on the decline at all. Mizzou, you're late to the SEC party. I mean, I don't know. Still shout out to my frat bros there, gang. But Mizzou is just kind of... They're just so new on the scene to hold that. I don't think
actually did well when they first entered. It was because of coaching issues.
Yeah,
the school is had issues, and they didn't play well last year.
Yeah, I can't see that happening though. I can't see that happening.
Guess who's going to go see the game though?
You.
Oh,
there you go.
Did we lose last time I went to go to Mizzou? Yep. Are we going to lose this time? Nope.
No. You're going to turn that frown upside down for sure. Shout out to AJ Jackson, all of his hashtags. Yes, I'm serious. Yes, I find it funny. Yes, I completely want answers or explanations. We hope that we did that for you. So shout out to AJ Jackson.
Yeah.
I've never met you, but you were officially a part of the Daps and Pound show. Thank you so much for all of your questions here. Now, Brandon Dobler, his brother, a.k.a. Squid Vicious, he actually had a good question for us. This one's kind of weird, just because I don't know how to answer it necessarily. But he said, what is your measurement for good music? So what do we use personally to determine what is good music?
Right notes. So if somebody was singing and they didn't hit all the notes right, it just doesn't sound right. So I feel a lot of it is going to be the user's ear. If it sounds good to you, that it is good, you know what I mean? Because art is in a sense somewhat you can review it and criticize it, but also it is a little bit of objective viewpoints. I think that's the right way to say it.
Subjective, I think.
Subjective, yeah. And so I'm pretty sure Malcolm's the same way. We just listen, and if it feels good, sounds good, then we just say it's good. Like Lil Yachty's latest song, which is now on like A-list hip hop on iTunes. What are you doing? No, like I know they're paying you or whatever, but take that garbage off.
Yeah.
One of the worst songs.
Yeah, I mean, I go by feel, which is the same thing that
Feel,
Dobie
yeah.
was saying. Feel like Dobie sent me a Neo record the other day, and I said it just feels good because that's anything. You know, I think that if you take in music, it should make you feel a certain type of emotion, happy, sad, yada yada. So for me, it's how it feels. And then the other one that's big for me is memorability. If you walk away from it, no, I don't know if that's a word. If you walk away from it and you say you're humming it,
Right.
you know the words and you're not even trying to memorize the words, anything like that. If you can remember the song and it stays with you, I think that's huge. That's a sign of a good song.
That's what I did for our intro. I just wanted something that people could hum along with.
That's true.
I didn't want to make it crazy.
Hopefully that answers your question, Squid.
I
But
mean,
yeah, good question though. Good question. Our boy Hicks in Chicago right now. As always, Hicks, we love you and thanks for serving our country.
yeah.
So he has a funny question. For those that don't know, we love Super Smash Brothers. When we got close as friends, him and I, we also had like an extended family that included Brandon and included Sean Tran now. Tons of our friends, Crash. Everyone kind of played and huddled around the TV to play Super Smash Brothers Melee. And we've had many battles back and forth. The things that are said during these battles are legendary. So Hicks has a question. Who's better at Smash? Myself using Marth, that's my character, or Dobie using Sheik, that's his character? I would say Dobie with Sheik. I mean, I can do things with Marth, but a lot of it has to do with the way his character's designed in the game. Melee is one of the best games of all time, but one of the most broken. And I think that Marth has different things that he can do in the game that have an advantage. And you know, every character probably does have an advantage, but I love Marth. I'll always use Marth, but I'm still learning little things, and I have not played half as much as Dobie has probably played the game in total. And with Sheik, I think he does really cool things. So I would say Dobie wins that debate. But I still, if we are in a like,
Malcolm gets more kills every single time on V.
Well,
on like 4V.
and if it's me versus you, I think you win. But I think that there are a bunch of times that I'm an opportunist. And if we are playing with two other people, then it's either or. I think it's a toss up. So 1-on-1, Dobie definitely has the edge there. But if we're in a full on battle with a bunch of people, I think that it's anybody's ball game, and there's a good possibility
Always.
I could win.
All right, cool.
Allison, shout out to Allison, man. You are a listener. You actually keep up with us. You tweet us almost every episode. You pretty much live tweet as you're listening. So we always appreciate that from you. Thank you so much for being a Dappy. We appreciate it. All right, so she has a few questions here. Allison says, what was your favorite TV show, animated and not animated, to watch while growing up? That's crazy.
Anime. I mean, I went through different phases. Like Rugrats used to be like one of my favorite shows growing up. And then I would say like I hit this point where like Dragon Ball Z for a while was like a religion to me.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of Power Rangers. I would say Power Rangers probably is the
Okay.
animated growing up. I'm thinking more of like my childhood. But there were also times like where I watched on TV like Seventh Heaven,
yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch that like hardcore. Smallville, I used to stick with like on the daily, like I wouldn't miss it. There were times of like Snick at Night, like with Cousin Skeeter and stuff like that. There were a couple shows like I'd follow, make sure I watch every week for sure. Saturday morning cartoons. That was huge for me for a while. Watching all of those like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Ultimate Muscle. Anybody remember that show?
Ultimate Muscle. Yeah.
Ultimate Muscle.
That's crazy. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've watched all those shows that you mentioned actually. Other than Dragon Ball Z, which just fell out of my radar, but I was watching other things during that time. I would say
wasn't Batman Beyond on Toonami too though?
Batman Beyond was on now it's the CW, but it was on the WB.
Was it? So that was a Saturday morning. Yeah, that was a Saturday morning cartoon.
100%.
Yeah. You're right.
So I will say that animated, I would have to say Batman the Animated Series. That was definitely a religion for me, man. In fact, I have volumes of it on DVD, and on this actual laptop that I have right here, I have every single episode. I purchased it,
right?
Just because I can't. It's an amazing show. I thought it was dark and edgy for the time period, which it really was, and the animation's dope. I'm a Batman freak, so yeah, Batman the Animated Series was probably my animated show that I love to watch so much. Non-animated, Boy Meets World. Like it's
how did I not mention
Boy
that?
Meets World. So many life lessons.
ABC Family.
It just shaped me, man. It shaped everything. I loved it. It used to come on ABC, and it was TGIF was Friday nights, and it would come on when I was real young. Loved it, man. Shout out to Topanga still. Boy Meets World for sure, and I think the little ones that I would throw in there for honorable mention would be Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Hank Tuff, stuff like that. City Guys, like stuff.
You watched City Guys?
Dude, City Guys was amazing.
City Guys was so good.
It was amazing.
I used to wake up at 6:30 in the morning to watch that show.
Oh, for sure. City Guys was lit. Also, All That on Nickelodeon was awesome for me.
Oh yeah,
Keenan and Kel.
I used to love Keenan and Kel.
All that stuff. So, yeah, good question, Allison. Her next question is, what's one place you've always wanted to visit and why?
A couple places. New Zealand for the
Lord
just
of the
kind of
Ringsness?
like just like because apparently the outdoorsiness is just
Next
the
level.
scenes are crazy. And then Japan. I just want to visit Japan because I love like Japanese culture, and I just think there'd be so many cool experiences there.
That's awesome. The only thing so Sicily, because I'm big into mafia movies, and The Godfather goes back to Italy and the roots of everything, and it looks really cool. And also it'd be awesome to see Italy and all of its art and everything like that, and the structures and buildings that have been there for
Like
years
Florence.
and years and for years and years and years. And then the other one would be Brazil, just because I really like Latin culture. It's pretty cool, man. Brazil. What? Why are you smiling at me like that?
Slippery.
Leave me. Ease me. So yeah,
Brazil.
and Italy are mine. Next up, if you could live anywhere in the world for the rest of your life, where would it be?
Just down south.
Okay.
Further near a beach, maybe. I don't know. It's hard for me to pick. I haven't been too many places. You know what I mean?
It's hard when you've only lived a few different places for a long time.
Right, exactly.
I would probably either say somewhere down south, or maybe in a cool like Cuban place or something, like somewhere exotic kind of, that you can kind of go to the market in a little straw hat and a little caravan, and then go back and you have your own land and it's cool, and there's a beachfront there, something real tropical, something like that.
Cool.
Next question Allison has, when will the punk song be made for the Dappies? November 21st.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe before that. I think that'd be pretty funny if we tried to make a punk song for real that we would put out. In fact, we should probably do it. I'm down if you're down.
Okay.
Yeah, and just so you know, if we make a real punk song, Allison, and other viewers who enjoyed us doing that a few episodes ago. It'll be better than any punk song ever made. In fact, all other punk artists suck. Allison or anybody else, if you have punk music in your phones, delete it because it sucks. I think it sucks. It's terrible.
Terrible.
But we'd make great music, so shout out to the shout out. Gang, gang. Allison, you're a dappy. We thank you so much for all of your questions and support. Keep it up. Next one comes from Andrew. He has about 10 questions here. Good Google.
Shout out.
Oh, no. My bad.
Yeah.
Andrew has one question.
Shout out to Darby.
All right. He says, what are 5 things that have recently inspired you? Whoa.
I'd say dreams. Dreams have inspired me. That's one of them. I would say a YouTube channel, Steven Suptic, has inspired me. I would say, what else has... If you have one, you can name it off because you got to think of 5.
Oh, man.
Rapid fire. Yeah, Steven Suptic. Max Landis. I'm just going to say that name because he's somebody who I've listened to his interviews and stuff like that. He's becoming a big script writer. And just this idea of I listened to an interview of his and he's like, yeah, just when I get an idea, I just sit down and I just start writing. And he's like, sometimes I don't finish it, sometimes I do. And the ones I do, usually, he does something with them. But just this idea that for anybody who wants to create, the beginning step is just doing it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we plot too much. Sometimes we think about it too much. We don't just do it.
Yeah.
That makes
sense.
I think that's the one thing with creators and anybody who is somewhat creative, I think, understands what I'm saying. Just create. Just do it.
Just do it. For me, I would say Charlemagne the God. I just read his book, and it was inspiring because he had life lessons. I talked about it a couple episodes ago, and I think it's really cool because he tells a story of being fired 4 times before the Breakfast Club. And then being hired by them and iHeartMedia and MTV, Viacom, trusting him even though he's been fired 4 times in an industry that reputation matters so much. Mm-hmm. So it's cool how he's kind of risen and now he's like something completely different than just a radio guy. So I will say Charlemagne the God. I will say Complex. I'm a big fan of this.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of this here culture we have. And I love music. I love culture. And when I say culture, I mean music. I mean fashion. I mean everything that's forwarding pop culture. Mm-hmm. And Complex has kind of revitalize the way they do things. I don't agree with everything that's on Complex, by the way. And I think that there are things about their culture that needs to change, and I would try to change it if I were there. But at the same time, I would love an opportunity to work with them or for them. I think that they have kind of realized that putting out a Complex magazine, and shout out to Mark Echo for starting Complex magazine, but putting out just a Complex magazine with a cool cover isn't going to do it anymore. You actually need to
I'm breaking stuff.
Go towards your audience. Audience is digital now. So I think it's important to go towards that. They have shows like Everyday Struggle with Joe Budden and DJ Academics. They have Life at Complex with Tony. They have Believe the Hype. They have all these platforms on digital YouTube that has helped them kind of put a new face and new spin on Complex. Their stock has most definitely went up in the recent months. So Complex is really inspiring because it's like, hey, there are young people my age doing things.
That's so true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Charlemagne,
which is weird now.
Yeah.
Like when people are like, yeah, I'm like 26.
And I'm an influencer.
I'm like, whoa, like they're out there, like we're doing it. And it's like, yeah, I completely agree with that. So if anybody knows anybody that works at Complex and you want to throw the plug at them.
Yeah, tell them to pick up the phone, baby. So yeah, Charlemagne the God, Complex, I will say, my boy Lee, I talk about him a lot. He's somebody that, I mean, aside from being a good guy, I don't think people know how much he does for his family. How
hard of a worker he is.
He works extremely hard, sometimes in, positions he may not want to be in. But he grinds so hard. And I just appreciate him. He's a phone call away anytime I need him. And it's likewise over the last few years, him and I have gotten really close. And he's just somebody that I kind of look to as inspiration. And he doesn't always know I'm watching him. But sometimes I look at different moves he's making and I go, you know what, that's really dope. And I'm just talking about, stuff that people don't see as far as the way he deals with his family. And so shout out to him. I think he's awesome. That's 3 or 4. I can't really think of any. I can't even think of any. Do you have any more?
No, I think that's good, man.
Okay.
Thanks, Darby.
Sean Tran. Now, Sean Tran has about 10
let him
questions.
know, Big Sean.
Shout out to Big Sean. Big Sean, Don the Prince. Man, Sean Tran is the coolest kid in a fedora.
Sports.
He has a sports sweatshirt. And there's no other way to explain that. He just has a sports t-shirt or sweatshirt. Sean Tran is the man, the myth, the legend. His 10 questions started by question number 1. If you were a UFC fighter, what would be your entrance song?
What would be my entrance song if I was a UFC fighter? I mean, the first one coming to my mind, I'd probably change it. I know I would. I know there's another song that I'd probably pick. But the first one that's coming to my mind that's a good intro UFC song is Boom by POD. I just love that song.
Okay.
That's probably not the one I'd pick, but I got to come up with something on the spot, and that's the first one that's coming to my mind. I'm trying to think what else I would choose, though. Go for it.
Mine would be DMX X Gon' Give It To You.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think the intro's dope for when they turn the lights out, and then I would run out of the tunnel. It'd be really cool. So X Gon' Give It To You, DMX would be my entrance song for the UFC.
I know there's a hype song that... Gosh dang it. I want a better answer.
POD, man.
No. I know it wouldn't be that. That's why I'm upset, but I got to give him something.
You got to give it to him.
Oh.
Like X.
I know.
Okay. What is your favorite basketball shoes of all time?
Favorite basketball shoes. Now, are we saying like basketball shoe or like shoe that we wear to play basketball in? Because I've only had one pair of basketball shoes.
Just go favorite basketball shoe. Don't worry about playing, man.
Currently, I mean, I'm not even going Jordan. Currently, favorite basketball shoe right now is, I mean, that's not even the question, though. All-time favorite.
Yeah, just all-time.
Then if we're going that, then the Jordan ones.
Cool. I'm going to go the Jordan 3s. Saved Nike. Saved Jordan from going to Adidas. I love the concrete elephant print on it.
Hot
It's sick
take.
to me.
I know Malcolm loves these, but just so you guys know my
I
opinion,
know
I
he
think
hates
they're
them.
garbage.
He hates them. He doesn't like the Jordan 3s at all. For
Or
me,
4s.
4s are amazing too.
I like the all-white 4s are pretty nice.
I'm a big fan of 3s and 4s. I like the early Jordans.
5s are better. I like 5s.
I love 3s.
Yo,
3s are
yo,
3s and
the
13s.
Fab
and
5s.
Those are pretty hard too.
Anyways.
So yeah, Jordan 3s for me. What is your spirit animal? Mine? That's easy. A woolly mammoth.
An otter.
Cool. Ours are pretty dope. What is your current obsession / biggest thing on your mind?
Vlogging.
Vlogging?
Video vlogging. Like, and dude, I don't know. It sucks, like, because I just feel like I've been thinking a lot lately about, like, where I was at college and stuff like that, and, like, who I was around and stuff, and I just feel like there was just so
much
many,
opportunity to do
so
stuff.
much missed opportunity.
Yeah.
And it kind of kills me. But vlogging,
Okay.
daily, like, making videos, because I feel like I can be like a entertaining personality.
Yeah, but those people have, so much time.
Time.
And effort.
Yeah, I know. So like that's the thing. Like if I made a video, it's like, here's me, Alexa, sitting in my office.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have an exciting life. One day. But that's why I'm thinking maybe like I thought about on Sunday. Like Sunday would have been a interesting vlog.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
We went to the Wing Fest, went to a dog park for the first time. Like I probably could have put something together there that's like 10 minutes. That would have been pretty cool. But it's mainly about, getting a portfolio too. If I ever want to show somebody my videos and stuff, because if I showed them anything, there's nothing like I'm super like proud of currently. So
Cool. I will say that mine's just planning and
vision board,
putting together a vision board, and I've become really obsessed with obsessed is a bad term, I guess. I've become really thoughtful about my next 5 years and realizing I'm 26 and wanting to put together a plan, and not a plan to where like, my life is just in this bubble and I have to formulate a plot, end up in jail or shot. Shout out to Eminem. But I just really want to be thoughtful about the next 5 years and put together a good plan. Like I just said, watching Complex and seeing people our age for the culture.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to be a part of that wave. The Daps and Pounds show is definitely a good start. So, just planning and vision boards and stuff like that for me.
Cool.
Next question for him is, what is the best advice that you have ever received from your parents?
I don't know if it's advice as much as it is just them teaching me about Jesus and God.
Cool.
And learning, and pretty much I don't know if they've ever discussed it with me, but I'm probably sure they have at some point or another, but they were respectful of like making that my decision. Like it wasn't their decision. Of course, they influenced it, but to a point where it's like, don't do this for us. Don't do it for your local church. Like do it for yourself and what you believe as a person. Like it's you got to make it yours. So
Sure. Yeah, that's a good one. I'll say that my dad has always told me to be a man that is responsible for himself. And what he's always meant by that is always put myself in positions that I don't have to apologize for later. And make sure that what I do, I kind of stand by and don't do anything that I'll have to be like, I'm sorry for, or whatever. Just be a stand-up dude like him. So the next question is, if you can change anything about the planet, what would it be? That's weird.
No bad smells.
No bugs.
Easy as that.
Cool. If you can ask Drake any question, what would it be?
Can I sit and just listen to how you guys record in your studio?
If I could ask Drake anything, it would be, how often does he hear back from his exes that he puts in songs?
Actually, I'd probably ask if there's like any internships or anything available.
Sean asks now, what is something you can't live without? Wow. Music.
That I can't live without.
Music for me.
I mean, music's up there. I almost said Jerk Reaction was almost my phone, but I've like been trying to like, when I go places with Mary, like not bring my phone. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, music. I would probably say my wife right now. Yeah. It's where, I mean, it's been over a year now, and it's like becoming like so natural.
Yeah. What is your kryptonite?
Perfectionism.
Wasting time on stupid stuff. What is a book that everyone should read?
Jesus Is by
Judas
Smith.
That's a good one. Beyond the Air by Akeem Olajuwon. I read that book when I was a little kid about the legend basketball player for the Houston Rockets, Akeem Olajuwon, and it was all about how he came from Africa and was, drafted and went to school and all of that stuff. So that was really interesting to me.
Cool.
All right. Thank you, Sean Tran, for all those questions.
What's on the bottom there?
That's Connor's questions.
Oh my gosh.
So thank you so much, Sean Tran, for those questions. We hope that we answer them for them.
Big Sean.
Let them know, Sean.
Let them know.
All right, Connor, my dude, my guy, Conway Twitty.
All right, let's go. Knock him out.
What are your middle names?
Mark.
Jamal.
Let's go.
Who's the better rapper? This is a hilarious one because for hip hop reasons, we have to say ourselves. I mean, Dobie has to say that he's the better rapper. I have to say that I'm the better rapper. But also, I think that we're two different rappers, and we approach songs differently. We were in a group together, and when we were in a group together, everything you do is condensed to 16 bars.
Yeah, that's true.
So
we each had I think everybody in the group, that was interesting. We each I think it was almost unanimous. After every track, we were like, "Yo, no, that person, you had the best verse on this track."
Yeah.
Or "No, you had the best one on this track." So
yeah, and we've never had a battle. We've never had a rap battle freestyle against each other, or anything like that, and we probably won't. So I mean, yeah, I think that for hip hop's sake, we think that we're the best rappers. What is your favorite pastime? Ooh.
what? I don't know.
I'll say watching sports or YouTube. It's my favorite pastime.
Either video games or YouTube right now.
Video games or YouTube?
Yo, YouTube is becoming TV.
Oh, for sure. They have YouTube TV.
I know. I still use PlayStation View though.
Okay, last question.
Let's go. Let's
Favorite athlete?
Favorite athlete. Favorite athlete. That's a good one. Who's yours? You probably have a better one right now than I do.
I'll say Drew Brees. And I'll say that just because he has done a lot for Louisiana, the state. Not only bringing our first championship to the Saints, but he has done so much for that community after Katrina and how he's handled himself through Katrina. I respect so very much. He's had offers to join other teams that would probably get him another championship faster after the Saints took a downturn after they won. But he has stayed thus far just so that he can be around that community. He's kind of made it a home for him. So I will say, just on an emotional level, Drew Brees for me.
Shoot, favorite athlete. I've after all of this time, I've never really decided,
Who's your favorite athlete?
Favorite athlete. I don't think anybody's ever really asked me this question.
Yeah.
That's a tough one for me.
Because you're a fan of sports, you know what I mean? It's not
Right.
you won't watch something, everyone likes.
Oh yeah, speaking of sports though, not favorite player, but I'm still trying to figure out who I want to pick my favorite NFL team to be and
That's
follow
true.
them.
That's
it's so
true.
weird.
That's true.
Right now I'm deciding between, so I used to root for the Carolina Panthers growing up because I used to live in Carolina, right?
Yep.
Used to also, though, my dad, when we grew up, he would cheer for the Atlanta Falcons because that was the only Southern team back then for him. And then, but both of those feel kind of bandwagon-y right now. If I started liking them, they'd be like, well, you only like them because they're, they recently have been good, this and that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't want to feel that way. I'm actually leaning towards the Houston Texans, though.
That's not a bad choice.
Because apparently, Clowney's there.
Yeah.
Apparently, though, the owner of the Houston Texans is a South Carolina Gamecock alumni.
I did not know that.
So, and Deshaun Watson, Clemson. I hate Clemson, but I have to respect him as a player. They got somebody from Vanderbilt, and it's like they're kind of picking up like these like Cunningham was his name. I don't know if you remember him, but it's like they're picking up these like college players that I knew about really well, and I'm more of a college football player guy myself.
So it makes sense.
So I'm thinking kind of actually leaning towards the Houston Texans right now. But that's where I'm at with that. Right now, I will say this. I am going to be really interested to see where PJ Dozier and Sindarius Thornwell go. I think I'm going to be following them for a while now, just because I like watch Sindarius and PJ from like the beginning, helping turn around the South Carolina Gamecock program. So I respected them a lot in what they did. So I'm really, kind of paying attention to them. I would say Steph Curry is one of my favorites out there right now.
Steph.
Just because of who he is as a person.
Steph Curry with a shot.
Yep, I would say he's up there.
I will say that I think the Houston Texans is a good team for you to start rooting for. Honestly, I root for them sometimes. I mean, I'm a Saints fan.
I think they're on the up.
But I think they're they're definitely on the uprise.
JJ Watt.
I watched their Hard Knocks. First of all, I love HBO Hard Knocks.
What is that?
What? Okay, so HBO has this series that they've had for a while now, years now, and it's called Hard Knocks, and it takes you through training camp, right? So it's crazy because it's raw, right? You get curse words, you get players getting cut, you get like. You
crying.
Get like you see the whole experience, and what's crazy is you learn their experience. And you get to know them. So, like, when they get cut, you're like, oh my gosh.
Man.
And so last season, it was your season before, it was the Houston Texans. And it was really cool because you got to see Bill O'Brien, their coach, and how he went home and dealt with, I believe it's his son that is special needs. And he dealt with him. And he's known for being like this hard dude, but around his son, like he just kind of like buckled, and he's just so awesome. It was really, really cool. JJ's JJ, you got to see that. You got to see Sammy Watkins catch balls like crazy. Pause. It was really awesome to see. I think the Houston Texans are a good franchise for you to get behind. And this year, I think Hard Knocks is either going to be on the Bucks or the Saints, maybe? I have to check. But watch Hard Knocks.
I'm down.
It's all
that
preseason, and it takes you through preseason games too, and shows you kind of the coach's point of view of how they go by cutting and picking play. It's awesome. I love Hard Knocks.
Sounds good. So Houston Texans or Atlanta Falcons. But if I
think you have to. First of all, if you go Atlanta Falcons, I'll be happy because Duke Riley from LSU,
but I had
linebacker.
like when I did fantasy too, like Deontay Freeman, like that was a player I grew to really appreciate. Julio Jones, I mean, who doesn't like Julio?
Shout out to Julio, great career.
Matt
man.
Ryan,
Matt Ryan's has the greatest comeback year I've ever seen since I've watched it.
Migos now created a championship song for
11
them.
Birds.
Come on.
Yeah, man.
Anyways.
Falcons are sick too. So guys, those were all of our questions. Thank you.
Boom.
That was actually a lot more questions than I thought it was going to be as we were going through them.
Yeah, and I think hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. I feel like it's been good so far.
Yeah, you guys got to learn a lot about us, so that's dope.
Are we doing top 5?
Top five.
Do you still have yours?
Top 5. I can find it. Today we are going to give you our top five favorite road trip snacks.
Snackies! Oh my gosh!
I'll let you go for it while I find my list.
Yo, top 5 snacks. So the reason I really was thinking, when you go on trips, you have your go-tos that you go for.
Sure.
Like I already know one of yours. You want to start with it? Let me see. Hey, test of friendship. You have to guess one of mine, and I'll guess one of yours.
Okay. Hang on.
Why are you still waiting? Okay. All right. So I'm gonna guess one of yours that are on your list.
Okay, guess.
Swedish fish.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Swedish fish are so good. Yum yum. I like. All right, I'm gonna guess one of yours.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Goldfish.
Yeah. We love the fish.
Yeah. Goldfish, Swedish fish. I'm red. He's yellow.
Okay, all right. Give him your next one because I'm pretty sure I
Next one, Cheez-Its. Love
Cheez-Its.
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 I like to
Cheez-Its.
get
Cheez-Its.
6 or 7 Cheez-Its
Cheez-Its.
and put them in a big line and squeeze them between my finger and my thumb like this and eat the middle, and the crumbs go everywhere and it's real messy.
What?
Shout out to Cheez-Its. Yeah. Okay, what you got?
Drink wise, I have to get a Monster. I usually go white Monster. I don't know what it is about these drinks,
Why
but
not a
that's
black
why
Monster?
That's Malcolm.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my caffeine choice. I gotta stay up.
Okay. Starburst. I love
That's a good one.
Love Starburst. They're just
What's
juicy.
your favorite flavor?
Orange. By far. It's not even.
It's not a game out here. Like
It's
he
not
doesn't-
even close.
he
Orange
doesn't-
and yellow are the
Yo,
only flavors
do you
that
remember
matter.
sour Starburst?
For sure.
Oh my gosh, I miss those.
Wasn't a fan.
Oh, they were so good.
They were okay.
Remember when we did like Starburst balls?
Yeah, those are good.
Those are really good. Someone
those.
agrees. All right, for me, candy wise, Skittles.
Skittles. For me, I will go jelly beans.
Jelly beans.
Jelly beans are just dope.
By Jelly Belly.
No, actually, the
Generic.
no, the Brock's candy jelly beans are
Interesting.
fire.
Next on my list is sour. Now the new one, the Harborough sour gummy bears.
Okay, yep, I've had
No, the original gummy bears are fire, but
Yep.
now it's kind of a newer candy, sour gummy bears. Amazing.
People front on gummy bears. I don't know why.
So good.
My last one, then I think is it my last one.
No, you tell me.
Pixie sticks.
Pixie.
Pixie stick. Once again, it's awesome
Pixie.
to like pull them out. I always, well, not always anymore, but when I was little, I used to put a line on my finger and sniff it like it was cocaine because I saw Scarface way before I should have, and probably messed with my development a little bit. So parental control, guys.
You never know.
Yeah.
For me also, Cliff Bar white macadamia nut.
That's
Love that Cliff Bar.
Cliffs are okay. You know what is the best, most underrated candy bar?
It's not a candy bar.
I know. This is random. This is off
Well,
tangent.
okay.
100-gram bar. You don't like 100-gram bars? You're wildin'. No!
Don't shoot.
I'm shooting.
Don't shoot.
Pop, 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 pop.
That was mean.
I'm sorry.
Look at you. All right. That's our top five. Thanks for joining me, Malcolm, today here.
What? Thanks for joining you. I'm here all week.
Oh, you're not. You're going home after this.
True.
All right. If you were given... Oh, man. This is an easy one for us, buddy.
Oh, no.
If you could own an
What is this? What are you doing? This is 101 conversation starters for couples.
Train wreck. If you could own and operate your own business and be guaranteed of its success, what would it be?
Oh, simple.
This and like doing what Complex does.
Yeah, and
being
entertainment. Like a...
curators for the
yeah.
culture.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
that's easy.
That's an easy one, guys. Try harder next time.
Let them know how it is, big boy.
Gary Chapman.
You think you know?
Gary Chapman.
You think you know?
Hey, yo, somebody at Gary Chapman on Twitter and say, make harder questions.
Yeah, Gary.
Gary.
We coming at you, Gary.
None of that weak sauce, Gary Chapman.
You trying to go bar for bar, Gary?
You don't want it. I flaunt it. I blunt it. I done it. I bun it like a baseball, Gary Chapman. This is why I retired.
Yo, Gary. Come on, Gary.
Guys, this has been episode 15
15.
of the Daps and Pounds show. We hope that you enjoyed our question and answer episode. Everyone who wrote in, thank you so very much.
Yes,
we
thank you.
appreciate you. Make sure you leave a review. Make sure you leave a comment on everything, right? So if you find us on iTunes and Stitcher, leave a review, leave a comment. like us, subscribe to us. You can find us on social media, on Instagram, Daps_pounds, on Twitter, Daps_pounds. We also have our very own website, www.dapsandpounds, ENT for entertainment.com. You can find us there. So this has been awesome, guys. We can't wait till episode 16, but we're glad that you joined us here. Remember that you can catch up on YouTube, catch up on iTunes. We're there. We're making great content, so you should get familiar. This is the Daps and Pound Show. We represent 2 mics,
2 friends,
and 1 show, the Daps and Pound Show.